Hello and welcome to another episode of From the Field. I'm your host, Stephanie Crowley, the editorial director of Top Crop Manager magazine. And joining me today is Shawn Semones, the Chief Technology Officer with Anuvia Plant Nutrients. Hi, Shawn, and welcome to From the Field.
Hi, Stephanie. Thank you very much for having me today.
Looking forward to chatting with you, Shawn. And as the Chief Technology Officer, you'll have an interesting perspective on our discussion today, as we are going to focus some more on Anuvia's technology. And so I'd like to start by just chatting about how the company was recently recognized as one of the next big things in tech. I'd love to know from your perspective what that means to producers and where does Anuvia go from here?
Yeah, I mean, in my career, I've always worked for companies that had a focus on helping the grower produce more with less. I've worked with companies that have had strong sustainability mission and vision principles. And Anuvia fits all of that very well. Since I came here 2 years ago, it's become very apparent to me how valuable Anuvia's technology is for the grower. Particularly in these times that we're experiencing right now. Mm-hmm. Our core foundational technology, when used in broadacre crops, generally delivers a 3 to 12x return on investment to the farmer. That's above and beyond conventional nutrition. And at the same time, because we take organic waste materials and recycle those into the manufacture of our product, we are eliminating a waste stream that would normally be destined for a landfill. Mm-hmm. We're repurposing that carbon and putting it back to the land. In doing that, we're helping with the whole regenerative ag aspect. Furthermore, because we formulate this organic component into our technology, we end up with a product that reduces leaching, mm-hmm. significantly up to 50% compared to some conventional nitrogen sources. We also reduce the amount of greenhouse gas release, both in terms of avoidance and sequestration. So I think it's an exciting time in terms of innovation in the fertilizer space, an area that's begged for innovation for some time. And I'm very proud working for a company like Anuvia that has this sort of vision on the path forward.
Excellent. I hear you talk about all of these wonderful regenerative ag initiatives that you're working on. And I was just waiting. I thought you might drop the S word of sustainability, and you didn't. But as you know, it is there's a huge push for sustainability on the grower side, on the consumer side, on the regulatory side of agriculture, in terms of both, improving our ROI and improving production methods. Mm-hmm. So when thinking about sustainability going forward, what is Anuvia's focus? And you've alluded to that a little bit already, but some larger plans if you'd like to share.
Well, of course, part of our plan is to increase the scale and capacity at which we're able to deliver Anuvia's technology. We currently are occupying a facility in Plant City, Florida, mm-hmm. has the ability to produce 1.2 million tons of this bio-based granular nutrition spoke of. And we're currently producing at about a 400,000 ton per year rate. So as we ramp towards 1.2 million tons, each 400,000 puts us on roughly another 7 million acres. So when this is all said and done, we'll be 20 to 21 million acres of cropland coverage with the Anuvia technology. And of course, we have expansion plans beyond that. Mm-hmm. We'd like to see 5 additional facilities globally incorporating or utilizing our proprietary front-end process. That is the process where we bring in these organic waste materials, deconstruct them, reformulate them into the finished granular nutrition product. So that is a big deal for us. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned, and we think about a growing planet, putting 2 billion more people on the planet with no more land and limiting supplies or reduced supplies of of nutrition and water and other resources, we have to be innovative. We have to be creative. We have to be passionate about how we're going to feed this growing population. Another area that we're extremely excited about is we find that the technology is a very friendly substrate, a very friendly home where we can put other biotechnologies. And so we're starting to explore the use of advanced microbials. We have a publicly announced partnership with a Danish biotech company called Novozymes, where we will, over the next 4 years, we will take Novozymes microbial technologies and formulate those onto our granule, every granule we manufacture. The intent there is that over time, we will slowly start to supply the acre, the crop, additional nutrition, primarily in the form of phosphorus and then nitrogen, that will be derived biologically.
Okay.
So we will stack 3 successive generations of advanced microbial technologies on our granule. Year 1, we'll supply the crop with 10 additional units of phosphorus. In year 2, we will supply the crop with 10 more units of phosphorus. And in year 3, we will then supply the crop with 20 additional units of nitrogen.
Wonderful.
When we combine that 40 additional units of nutrition on our existing technology, the impact will be profound. And one of the easiest ways to sort of illustrate that is we will take a facility that has the ability to produce 1.2 million tons of product. We will effectively turn that into a 2.4 million ton facility in terms of the nutrition delivered, without adding any extra steel, concrete, water, electricity, energy, etc. Right? By adding these advanced microbial technologies.
Right.
That impact manifests itself downstream, being, fewer rail cars, fewer warehouse storage units, less trips to the field by the grower, less diesel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so we've not yet factored that into our life cycle analysis, but we feel like it will double impact on our ESG messaging.
Okay. So it's interesting bringing it all together, talking about technology and sustainability and Anuvia's role in all of that. We look at the impact on the environmental resource management, which you've already kind of alluded to, right? And how we are doing doing more with less, essentially. So can you comment on that a little bit, on Anuvia's impact on ERM or environmental resources management?
Well, again, we take it very seriously. Our facility where we manufacture is a zero emission facility. We repurpose all water that is generated on that facility. And in fact, we have the capacity to utilize some of the wastewater that exists on and around the facility in the manufacture of our technology. Cradle to grave, from manufacture to application of the end use product, we have a significant impact on greenhouse gas emissions, and that both in terms of sequestration, i.e. adding carbon back to the soil, well as avoidance in terms of the amount of greenhouse gases that potentially volatilize into the atmosphere and contribute to that damaging aspect. If and when we meet our business ambitions, we have the potential to remove approximately 57 million metric tons of CO2 from the global greenhouse gas economy. And that would be equivalent to say, taking Argentina, the entire greenhouse gas budget of Argentina, out of the equation on an annual basis. So it's not insignificant. And, there's a lot of discussion these days on how to take advantage of these sort of carbon sequestration, carbon avoidance matrices, how to enable the farmer to take advantage of that. But we look at it more in terms of the regenerative ag aspect, soil health, and crop performance. That's really what are the driving factors behind our ambitions here.
Mhm. Sounds like there's a lot of exciting things going on at Anuvia Plant Nutrients. So Shawn, thank you very much for joining me today for this From the Field interview.
Stephanie, it was a real pleasure, and I'd be happy to join you on From the Field anytime in the future.